Well, welcome to the Pro Brick exclusive YouTube channel. You're with Reverend Dr. Jason W. Morrison, theologist. I don't practice as a theologian anymore or a minister. The call went off my life and I acknowledge that. But I got some stuff that from those years that can help people. If you haven't already, guys, subscribe to the channel, like, share, and comment at the end. Also, we're not into mummies, boys. Break the umbilical cord, mum, or you young blokes, because this is going to happen to you. I'm sick of calling you calling me a mummy's boy. Yeah, the young guys don't like it very much when you do, but for the most part, there's a lot of them out there, and we're not into that, so we're just getting it out there. Okay, so today we're going to look at a girl who's decided that she don't want to smoke weed anymore. Let's see what's going on. We got our volumes correct. Yeah. We're good to go. Let's go.
Marijuana, Myrodine. I gotta stop playing with this chair because it goes.
Oh,
Hey, what's up, you guys? Today, what am I gonna do? I'm going to be telling you. So today I'm going to tell you guys why I don't smoke weed. Yes, that's right.
I don't smoke weed.
That's a pretty good decision, isn't it? Proverb for today, guys. The life of the godly is full of light and joy, but the light of the wicked will be snuffed out. It's very close to a fire, isn't it? And that's what smoking is. It's lighting a fire and inhaling all the toxins and things to get a feeling out of it. But the life of the godly, the life of the person that wants to do right by themselves and everybody else, is full of light and joy.
And most people are surprised by that. I guess my personality is really laid back and chill or whatever.
Guys, I just want to say there's nothing more attractive than a woman that's straight. I'll tell you, over many, many years, it's the most beautiful experience you can ever have, sharing in a woman that's straight's beauty. There's 364 videos on the channel now, 141 subscribers in nearly 4 weeks. We're battling away at it, guys, but we're getting there one way or another.
Which is interesting considering that on the inside I live in a state of constant anxiety.
Now, they'll use anxiety as an excuse for the use of weed, but weed actually does cause anxiety. A lot of people won't admit that, but it's true. Unfortunately, it's so true. Yeah, there's stacks of stuff on weed on this channel because we want to try and help people to escape it. But it's up to the individual, I suppose. I've known a lot of people that have died from it. I was as you can see up there, I was a motorcyclist, but I was straight, and I got a lot of respect for the way I rode and fixed engines and things. And the fact that I was straight, and a lot of the guys had come to me for counsel and wisdom, and they'd get it. But I also saw a lot of foolishness and a lot of death, a lot of harm, a lot of broken relationships as a result of this, health that was lost. A lot of people have died, man, from alcohol and drugs, and that's why we've got this channel. We want to help people to get their lives on track, and we value the people in our lives here, and we just want to hope the best for everyone.
Now, I will say that I don't think there's anything wrong with smoking the Mary Jane if you are of age. It really benefits some people, and that's great.
Yeah, there isn't a medicinal purpose for it, but that's about the only good thing about it. A lot of people do love it, and they're never going to get off it. It's their go-to for sanity, I suppose, given the way life's worked out for them. But in the long run, it's really not good for you. And I guess if you have to have it, then that's the way it is. A lot of people have lost relationships because of it. This is a good video here. Man, this guy, that was pretty confronting, that video. I'd advise you watch it, find it and watch it. But it is harmful. It's only good for medicinal purposes, and the rest of it's just downhill from there.
It all started back in high school, and this story time could have easily been titled "Why I'm a Idiot," because everything that happens in this story is my fault. So
subscribe to the channel, like, share and comment on the video, guys. Also, if you're a mummy's boy, don't have your girlfriend say to you, I'm sick of you calling me a mummy's boy, or find yourself in that situation, because one way or another you will.
So I was 16 the first time I ever smoked weed, and it was at this park right near my high school. After that, for some reason, I was convinced that I was hot shit, the coolest guy around town. I had this one best friend in high school, and we were professional dumbasses together, like a power duo of stupidity. So for some damn reason, we thought it would be a good idea to buy a weed cookie from our local school drug dealer. And we thought it was an even better idea to eat the cookie at school. Seriously, how dumb can two people be? Now, my mindset at the time was, okay, I have cooking class next period. We're just gonna make some food. I'll get the munchies. I'll be a little high. It'll be fun. Sophomore year, lunchtime, my friend and I are sitting on a bench with our weed cookie that we got from our friend slash drug dealer. We decided to split it in half because we were told that that was the right dosage or whatever.
I can remember she's talking about munchies. Girlfriend I had, you'd go to sleep about 10 o'clock and you'd wake up and you'd wake up to go to the toilet about 2 o'clock in the morning and there'd be no one there, and then you'd hear this munching. They'd have the munchies. She used to smoke weed and she'd get the munchies.
I should also mention that we were sitting in plain sight in our school cafeteria. It is a miracle that we did not get caught or suspended or something even worse. I had only smoked weed once before this and I barely got high, so I was not prepared for what was about to happen. We ate the cookie, lunch ended, still didn't feel high, and I sat in my foods class and we were taking notes that day. So part one of my plan already ruined because we weren't making food, just taking notes. And all of a sudden, I'm just like taking notes and my eyes could not retain the information that I was reading and my hands could not process it and write it down. Like I could not. My brain was just not working at all. It hit me like a truck. Another side point I will mention is that I have pretty severe anxiety and I am a huge control freak. So if I'm not in control of my state of mind, it makes me very anxious. So I asked the teacher if I could...
That's interesting, isn't it? The conflict between wanting to let your mind go and wanting to have control of your mind. Very interesting point, isn't it? And that's what happens to a lot of these drug people. They end up in a conflict because they want to control their mind. But at the same token, they're surrendering their mind to the drug and leaving themselves at the mercy of the consequences of that. And they become used to it. And it's not good. It's really not good, man. It's really not good. It's so negligent. The life of the godly is full of light and joy, but the light of the wicked will be snuffed out.
Use the bathroom because I needed to get the out of that classroom. I must have gone at least 4 or 5 times just in that one class period. My friend and I were texting each other during class and we decided to meet up. So when I went to the bathroom, I actually just went to meet up with my friend who was also super stoned, and we were both convinced that we were going to die. No one was having fun. It was just an all-around terrible time. I was not a real person.
And that's funny, isn't it? For a lot of these drug smokers, they don't have fun. It does end up just becoming a systematic part of their life. There's really no, and as a matter of fact, what a lot of them are doing is just quenching the addiction. The drug becomes an addiction, and really there's no joy in it. They're just taking away the pain that the drugs caused, along with some medicinal assistances.
My friend's grandma picked her and I up from school, and I did not say a single word the entire 30-minute ride home. I had considered calling my mom, 911, all the usual things that you do when you think you're gonna die. Thankfully, I did none of those. I just got home, went into my room, even though my friend was over, passed out for like 5 hours, and then she woke me up. But by the time she had woken me up, the high was like mostly gone, but I still felt like really funny. It felt
See, when you look at it and you want to be honest about it, it's self-sabotage. And it's really, really sad. Some people, I know a lot of people, we buried an old bikie friend of mine, oh, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago, that smoked weed all his life, had some serious bike accidents because of it. As a matter of fact, his nickname was Cripple. Put two and two together. But there are some people that I believe you would describe as functioning weed addicts, and they've got a lifestyle that they know how to navigate around the weed. It doesn't always come off for them. They still suffer from social paranoia and all this other stuff. But in the long run, they are difficult to get on with. They're selfish. They've got egos. They've got all sorts of psychological ailments, and really end up on the wrong side of the fence of life with these people. They don't seem to be able to get their act together properly, and they think the world owes them something and they know everything, but they've got nothing. And it's really quite strange, actually, how destructive it is.
weird for like the next few days. So for most people, that would have been the end of their stoner era. Buy weed, don't need to do another edible ever again. But unlike most people, I did mention I am an idiot. I don't know how long it took until I was like smoking weed again after that, probably like a couple months. And at one point it was pretty consistent. And about like a year or so later, I thought it would be a good idea to take an edible before a school dance with my high school boyfriend at the time. I didn't last 20 minutes before I started begging him to take me home. And that wasn't like the last time I ever smoked. Like, I don't learn from my mistakes. So I continue to smoke here and there.
That's interesting, isn't it? I don't learn from my mistakes. What weed will do is make you social paranoid. You'll be paranoid of people. You won't want to be around people. My last girlfriend that was on weed, we'd often make dates and she'd say, can we just stay at home? And I knew why, and I didn't argue with that. That was part of the territory. The life of the godly is full of light and joy, Proverbs 13:9, but the light of the wicked will be snuffed out. If you don't live your life the right way, you're just going to snuff out opportunity and what life can bring to you. A lot of these weed smokers just snuff out what life has for them. But if you're just on the right path in life, there is light and joy and prosperity. But as she said, a lot of people are stupid. That's all it is. They're not going to find their way out. It's really, really sad, and it's really, really common.
There a little bit, but it just made me feel like not good. I would just get anxious every time. And I know a lot of you are gonna have the response that's like, oh, you're not smoking the right kind of weed, you know?
Yeah, weed smokers will justify it, and they'll do everything they can to protect their habit. But in the long run, there is, I guess, an element of medicinal use, but they reckon the longer that you use it, the more you need to take, and the less that it works. And I agree with that from what I saw back in the bike culture that I was in. They were always looking for something more powerful and trying to boast about how wonderful the product they had at the time was. It never led to anything positive, never led to anything that was constructive. In fact, they were just psychologically assaulting themselves. And no, I didn't see any good come out of weed.
No, like you should do more of an indica. But no, I've tried. I'm not like inexperienced. Honestly, I don't know if I even had a point in sharing this story with you. But I guess the recurring theme in this is just don't be an idiot like me and take an edible from a sketchy drug dealer at your school and take it. If you are going to smoke weed, just make sure that you are in like a safe environment with people you trust, and like don't let other people pressure you into it. Make sure you're getting your weed from a reliable source like a dispensary. Just don't be an idiot and do your research before. I hope you guys enjoyed this story.
Well, I guess what she's saying is pretty good and true, but ultimately, from where we come from, we don't like weed. If you use weed, that's up to you. I think there's 1,000,000,000 reasons why you shouldn't have it, but that's not the case for everyone. And unfortunately, it's just how life works out for people. The people that I've been involved in with weed have smashed their motorbikes. A couple have been injured surfing because I lived in both cultures, surf culture and bike culture, which is quite unusual, but I had a lot of respect in both. And the people that use weed, they didn't surf as well. Their fitness wasn't as good as what it should have been. Their thinking wasn't aggressive. It was sort of robbed a bit. And the girls that I've had have been on weed haven't been the best lovers I've ever had, or the best company. They're not as exciting. It's wonderful being with a woman that's straight because you've got full awareness and full company, and they're much more responsive in the bedroom. That's just my experience that I want to add to this, because life's short and you want to have the most you can get out of life, and there's nothing more attractive than looking into a clear-minded, clear-eyed girl. Oh man, if you're a woman watching this channel, we're starting to get a few women on the channel now. And these things are important, particularly when you get to my age of nearly 57, 60, going on 60. I'm sick of you calling me a mummy's boy. Well, listen, you mummy's boys, don't be one. Just don't be one. And guys, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, like, share and comment. Thanks for coming in too. We're trying really hard to bring good content. There's plenty of content there for you. We're getting it up as much as we can on all different subjects to just broaden the outlook of the channel. We're not trying to keep it as just what I see or what I believe. We're sharing some really fantastic teachers and coaches from all over the world to help you guys learn and get better at life. This is a good channel, this one, for you men. 33 Secrets, Matty Cross, one of the legend, what do you call him? Legend. He's one of these guys that goes out and gets girls. And I that wasn't the life for me. I always liked just having one girl. But this channel here, 33 Secrets, it's a classic. It's a great channel. I fully recommend it. All right, well, that's my recommendations for today. We'll finish with our scripture again, which is, the life of the godly is full of joy and of light, but the light of the wicked will be snuffed out. Live your life to the best of your capabilities. Stay straight as you can, and we'll see you on the next one. ProBrick exclusive channel with Reverend Dr. Jason W. Morrison. Bye for now.